Imagine, a man hijacks a plane and then vanishes, never to be found again. This isn't the plot of a Hollywood thriller, but a real-life story that unfolded in the skies above the United States on a chilly November evening in 1971. An ordinary journey turned into an extraordinary event when Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305, a Boeing 727 aircraft, became the stage for an audacious act of hijacking. Like a scene straight out of a suspense novel, a man seemingly ordinary set his plan into motion, creating a ripple of shock and confusion among the passengers and crew. The flight was routine, the passengers unsuspecting, the crew professional. But as the minutes ticked by, the ordinary became extraordinary. The man, nondescript in his attire, handed a note to a flight attendant. A note that would turn a routine flight into a historic event, a note that claimed he had a bomb. The disbelief was palpable. The passengers, unaware of the unfolding drama, carried on with their journeys, their minds perhaps on their destinations, their loved ones, their plans. But the crew, their professionalism put to the ultimate test, had to grapple with the reality of the threat. A hijacking in mid-flight, it sounds unthinkable. Yet, it was happening. The audacious act was not a figment of imagination, but a reality that was unfolding in the confines of the Boeing 727. And the man behind this audacious act? A man known only as D.B. Cooper. Who was this D.B. Cooper? A name as enigmatic as the man himself. The infamous D.B. Cooper, a name that has been etched into the annals of aviation history. But who was he really? The answer to that question, my friends, remains as elusive as the man himself. When Cooper hijacked the Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305, he didn't just make off with $200,000, he also managed to leave behind a mystery that has perplexed authorities for over half a century. With only a handful of clues to his identity, the authorities were left grappling in the dark. So, what do we know about D.B. Cooper? Well, not much actually. He was calm, polite, and well-dressed. A man who seemed to know his way around an aircraft. He was described as a man in his mid-40s with close-set piercing eyes and a swarthy complexion, but that's just about where the factual information ends and the realm of speculation begins. Countless theories have been proposed over the years, each one as fascinating as the next. Was Cooper a disgruntled employee with a grudge against the airlines? Or perhaps a seasoned criminal with a knack for grand larceny? Some even suggested he could have been a daredevil thrill-seeker looking to etch his name into history. And then there were those who believed that Cooper was not a single individual at all, but rather a group of individuals working together. A theory as tantalizing as it is terrifying. Could a group of individuals really pull off such a daring heist, right under the noses of the authorities? But for all the theories and conjectures, the truth remains elusive. Despite extensive investigations, despite millions of dollars spent, despite the best minds in law enforcement on the case, D.B. Cooper remains an enigma. The man of mystery, the phantom of Flight 305, who vanished into thin air, leaving behind nothing but a trail of intrigue and unanswered questions. Despite the best efforts of the authorities, D.B. Cooper remained a shadowy figure. A hijacking is audacious enough, but D.B. Cooper's plan was nothing short of extraordinary. The audacity of his plan was only matched by its intricacy. Aboard the Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305, Cooper passed a note to the stewardess, a note that would set his audacious plan into motion. A plan that was not a spur-of-the-moment decision but a calculated move, born out of meticulous planning and audacious courage. But what did this note contain? It was a chilling announcement. Cooper had a bomb. He was hijacking the plane, but he didn't just want to cause chaos. No, Cooper had a very specific demand. He wanted parachutes and $200,000, and he wanted them delivered when the plane landed in Seattle. The audacity of his demand was matched only by the precision with which he had planned it all. It was as if he knew exactly what he was doing. He knew the plane, he knew the route, he knew what to ask for, and he knew how to get it. His demand for parachutes wasn't random. It was a calculated move. He was planning to jump, to disappear into the night sky. And the money? It was a significant amount, but not so much that it would be impossible to arrange quickly. He demanded it in $20 bills, a detail that seemed minor at the time but would later prove to be a vital clue in the investigation. And so, with the note passed and the demands made, the plane landed in Seattle. The passengers were released, the money and parachutes were delivered, and Cooper's plan, it seemed, was going exactly as he had envisioned. But here's where it gets even more audacious. With the money and parachutes in his possession, Cooper ordered the plane to take off again, heading towards Mexico City. But he had no intention of reaching Mexico. He was going to jump, somewhere over the northwestern United States, vanishing into the night with his ill-gotten gains. His plan, as audacious as it was, seemed to be going off without a hitch. As if hijacking a plane wasn't audacious enough, D.B. Cooper's escape plan was even more daring. With the ransom money in hand, he had one more significant hurdle to overcome. How does one escape from a Boeing 727 mid-flight over an undisclosed location? Cooper had a plan that was as audacious as the man himself. With the ransom cash strapped to his body, he prepared to leap into the unknown. No parachuting experience, no clear destination, no certainty of surviving the jump. Yet, he was willing to take the risk. The audacity of the escape wasn't just the jump itself. It was the fact that Cooper jumped into a stormy night, with rain pelting the aircraft and winds howling around him. He was jumping into an abyss with only the parachute on his back and the ransom cash strapped to his body. And so, with the cold wind biting his face, D.B. Cooper did the unthinkable. He jumped from the Boeing 727, disappearing into the stormy night. His daring leap was a display of audacity that shocked the world. It was a leap into the unknown, a daring escape that would go down in history as one of the most audacious acts of its time. The narrative of D.B. Cooper's escape is one that continues to captivate us. It's a tale of audacity and daring, a tale of a man who was willing to risk it all for a chance at freedom. The authorities scrambled to locate Cooper, but it was like trying to find a needle in a haystack. The storm, the darkness, the vast expanse of wilderness below, everything was against them. Despite their best efforts, D.B. Cooper was never found. The world watched in awe as the audacious hijacker disappeared into the night, leaving behind a trail of mystery and intrigue. His daring escape left an indelible mark on history, a tale that continues to perplex and fascinate us to this day. With a leap into the unknown, D.B. Cooper vanished into the night. The aftermath of D.B. Cooper's daring escape was a frenzy of activity. As the Boeing 727 touched down on an empty runway, and the eerie silence was broken by the whir of the plane's jet engines cooling down, law enforcement officers swarmed the aircraft. But it was too late. D.B. Cooper had vanished into the night. The subsequent manhunt was one of the most extensive in U.S. history. Hundreds of FBI agents, armed with Cooper's composite sketch, scoured the Pacific Northwest, but it was like searching for a ghost. While the manhunt ensued, the FBI was also busy investigating the money. Each of the 10,000 $20 bills given to Cooper had been photographed and their serial numbers recorded. The Bureau hoped that if the money surfaced, it would lead them to Cooper. But the money, like Cooper, seemed to have disappeared without a trace. Then, in the late 70s, a young boy digging on the banks of the Columbia River found 3 bundles of deteriorated $20 bills. The serial numbers matched those of the ransom money. This discovery sparked renewed interest in the case and a flurry of new theories. Yet, despite this promising lead, the money trail went cold, and Cooper remained elusive. Over the years, the FBI followed thousands of leads, interviewed countless suspects, and even conducted numerous excavations in the suspected drop zone. But all efforts were in vain. No definitive evidence of Cooper's fate was ever uncovered. The case remained one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in U.S. history. In 2016, after 45 years of dead ends, the FBI officially closed the case. But the legend of D.B. Cooper lives on, shrouded in mystery and intrigue. The audacious hijacking, the daring escape, and the subsequent disappearance of Cooper continue to captivate the imagination of mystery enthusiasts around the world. Despite the most extensive and expensive manhunt in U.S. history, D.B. Cooper was never found. D.B. Cooper's audacious act left a lasting legacy. With these words, we delve into the enduring impact of that fateful November day in 1971. D.B. Cooper, a name now etched in the annals of aviation history, has become synonymous with audacity, enigma, and intrigue. His daring escapade sparked a revolution in airline security. Prior to the Cooper incident, airport security was lax, a stark contrast to the stringent measures we see today. The absence of metal detectors, security cameras, and identification checks made it all too easy for Cooper to board the flight with his illicit cargo. His audacious act served as a wake-up call, prompting a complete overhaul in airline security protocols worldwide. The introduction of mandatory passenger screening and baggage checks, among other measures, can be traced back to the aftermath of the Cooper hijacking. But the legacy of D.B. Cooper transcends beyond the realm of airline security. His audacious act, his daring escape, and the enduring mystery surrounding his fate have transformed him into a folk hero of sorts. Even today, the name D.B. Cooper evokes a sense of intrigue, fascination, and a touch of admiration. He has inspired countless books, films, and songs, and even has his own festival in Ariel, Washington, where enthusiasts gather annually to celebrate the enigma that is D.B. Cooper. Yet, it's important to remember that despite his folk hero status, D.B. Cooper was a criminal who endangered innocent lives and stole $200,000. His tale serves as a stark reminder of the lengths individuals can go to when driven by desperation, audacity, and a disregard for the law. His story, as captivating as it is, has left an indelible mark on our collective consciousness. It's a tale of audacity and intrigue, of a man who dared to challenge the system and disappeared into the annals of mystery and legend. The legacy of D.B. Cooper, a hijacker, a ghost, a legend. Despite the passing of time, many questions about D.B. Cooper remain unanswered. As we delve deeper into the enigma that is D.B. Cooper, we find ourselves surrounded by a sea of questions. Questions that have kept detectives, historians, and mystery enthusiasts alike awake at night, searching for the elusive answers that seem to perpetually evade us. Who was D.B. Cooper, really? Was he an experienced skyjacker, a daredevil seeking thrill, or an ordinary man pushed to extraordinary lengths by desperation? How was he able to execute his audacious plan with such precision, leaving barely a trace behind? And most importantly, what happened to him after he leapt into the chilling November night? Over the years, countless theories have emerged, each more intriguing than the last. Some believe Cooper survived the daring escape, living out his days in anonymity, enjoying the fruits of his audacious act. Others speculate he perished that night, his body forever lost in the vast wilderness. Yet there are those who suggest he may have been an insider, a disgruntled employee seeking revenge, or perhaps even a foreign agent carrying out a covert operation. The possibilities seem endless, and each theory adds another layer to the enigma, further entangling us in the web of mystery that is D.B. Cooper. Despite the exhaustive investigations and relentless search efforts, no conclusive evidence has ever been found. No body, no parachute, no definitive proof of his fate. Only a handful of banknotes, weathered by time and the elements, serving as the only tangible link to the man who vanished into thin air. The fascination with D.B. Cooper's story continues to endure. It's a tale that captures our collective imagination, a story of audacity, mystery, and intrigue. It reminds us that in a world seemingly devoid of secrets, there are still mysteries that remain unsolved, stories waiting to be told, and questions longing for answers. Even after all these years, the mystery of D.B. Cooper continues to captivate us. The story of D.B. Cooper is just one of many intriguing tales waiting to be told. This tale of audacity, daring, and mystery is a testament to the fact that there are countless stories out there, full of suspense and enigma, that are yet to be unraveled. Just like the unsolved mystery of Cooper, we have a treasure trove of such captivating narratives that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Here we don't just recount events, we journey into the heart of the unknown, seeking answers, exploring possibilities, and daring to question the unquestioned. Each story is a new adventure, a new mystery, a new exploration into the realm of the extraordinary. So, are you ready to plunge into this world of mysteries? Are you prepared to question what you know, challenge your perceptions, and venture into the uncharted territories of knowledge? Don't miss out on more fascinating stories. Subscribe to our channel and join us as we delve into the world's most captivating mysteries.